Hello, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Chase, and in today's video, we're going to be going over some tools, tips, and tricks to help you run a more efficient, more effective operation. In this particular video, we're going to be going over one of our routes to value that we call boosting profitability. Now, unfortunately, there is no magic button that will just help boost profits for the company, but having the right tools at your disposal, having the proper visibility will help you kind of figure out where your company is doing well, where money could be saved, where things can be cut out, and maybe even help predict how the changing markets could affect your business. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here in just a second, and we're going to run through a couple of different tools. A lot of it comes down to reporting and understanding those reports and having the visibility to see these tools in action for you. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. We'll start out with some small points, things that you can do on a smaller scale, and then we'll move up to reports that will help you for your business as a whole. So let's start out with just simple visibility. A lot of the tools we have in our accounting program let you get down to the customer, the truck, the driver, the carrier type visibility into the system so that when you're using these reports, I can see, what's working, what's not working, what's maybe costing money. So as a very quick example, I'm going to create a bill here very quickly. And this could be, the insurance bill for a truck, the maintenance repair bill for a truck, some load-related fees, some lumpers, tarps, straps that we needed to buy for a load, any little example like that. But what I want to do is I want to be able to track those things back to a particular source, a truck, for example, so that I know at the end of the day, is that truck worth keeping around? Is it constantly in the shop getting maintenance done? Are those fees adding up and is costing that truck more money than it's worth to deal with? So those are the kind of simple things in terms of visibility that I want to be able to see very quickly. So for example, if I come in here and create a bill, some kind of repair shop, let's just say AB shop, they've given me a bill number. Down when I'm creating my line items, well, first of all, I can tie this to some form of truck expense account, maintenance account, something like that. In this case, I've got one called vehicle maintenance that we'll select. And let's just say it's a $250 bill. But in this case, it is probably for a specific truck. So I want to tie this back to the truck. So over here in this UD field, I can type in a truck number. So now when I go run my profit and loss per truck report, which we have built right in, that number will reflect against that truck's profitability. So over time, as these things start to add up, I'll see how is that truck actually doing? How much money has it brought in versus how much has it cost to maintain it and keep it operational? Of course, I could do a trailer number the same way. You can also refer things back to load numbers. Very quickly, I could come in here, type in a load number, and now it will reflect back on that profit and loss per load report that we've got built in. You can also assign line items to different entities. So let's say in this case, it's something simple like an owner operator. He blew a couple tires. We needed to cover the cost of those tires so we could get a load delivered on time. Well, in this case, I still need to pay the shop that did the work, but I want to charge that back to my driver. So over here, I can come in and change the charge to one of my driver's names. Let's see if I can find somebody. Let's say Brian here. And I can change the account over here to my driver advance account. Now, of course, your accounts may be set up differently than mine, so don't use my exact numbers if you've changed them. But now what this will do is loop that $250 into the payroll and settlements process. So the next time I've got a check for that driver, I can recoup that $250 so that way all my balances are showing up correctly. So those are some simple little tools that you can use, again, just to enhance that basic visibility, see what those loads are actually making, what the trucks are costing, so on and so forth. And that functionality exists across any form of transaction in the system, whether it's a bill, an invoice, a check, a deposit, a journal entry. All these same tools down at the bottom, these subledgers, are still available. But we can kind of continue that theme further into the business and look at the business as a whole. And that really comes down to proper reporting, knowing how to use those reports and how they can work for you. So let's get rid of this. And instead, I'm going to jump into an income statement that I've got created. So this is just your typical P&L style income statement that shows me all of my income, my cost of sales, and my expenses. If I break this out properly, I can see where the business is actually doing well versus where it's not. So for example, looking at these numbers, I can see my dry van is doing quite well. I can see flatbeds and reefer not too far behind. LTL is okay. And then in this case, my intermodal doesn't make me a whole lot of money. That's okay. Maybe it's just a little side hustle for the business. But instead, what I can do is I can run this same income statement, but as a comparison report instead. And I can check, month over month, year over year, quarter over quarter, what's working and what's not working. So when I run the comparison report, in this case, I'm looking at last year versus this year, I can see that my dry van is actually down a little bit this year. My flatbed is also down, but reefer and LTL are both up. And in this case, it looks like I've chosen to cut out intermodal entirely. Maybe I've decided that that's sure it's making $110,000 a year, but maybe the costs were meaning those profits were very low. So these are just some different tools, different reports that you can use to really dissect the actual financial health of your business and see what's really going on. Sure, bottom line profits may be high, but if you cut out certain maybe modes of transportation or lines of business that are breaking even or maybe even losing money, you could boost those profits. So if you've liked anything that you've looked at today and you have more questions, please feel free to reach out to us. If you're not a current customer, by all means, schedule a demo. We'd love to share this with you. And if you have any questions, we are always available. Thank you and have a good day.